All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and I can't even believe what I'm about to say. This is my 100th podcast episode. I gotta say, I'm kind of emotional about this one, and I'm not here to go crying and oh my god. I just want to remind some of you guys a couple of important things for your dating life, for adoption as well, and when I talk about Formula One and racing in general. Firstly, I gotta say, 100 episodes. I, it's so weird to say. It is so bloody bizarre, surreal to even say 100 episodes. What the hell has happened here? I can't believe it. I really can't. It's been amazing, and I'm going to keep going and going and going. I'm not going to stop because I hope, I think I'm helping some people out there. I'm going into detail, a lot of detail, as you know, about the dating world. And if you haven't watched me much before, guys, even if this is your first time listening to me or watching me on YouTube, you may know, maybe, is this guy trying to help? What I'm trying to do, guys, is, I started off acting, right? And I was going to start social media with acting, but people have said to me over the years I've been very, very good when it comes to giving no bullshit crap answer to anybody, just brutally honest to people, where it comes to giving them what I think. Now, it doesn't mean I'm right or wrong all the time. Doesn't mean I'm an expert at relationship advice. Nope. Hell no. What it means is that I'm just giving you the man's opinion. Because there's a lot of people that have said, oh, well, it's Peter, we think it's ABC, and oh yeah, definitely, that John guy, he did ABC. And I'll just turn around and go, no, honey, it's actually XYZ. And it's amazing how many times we get things wrong. And in fairness to women, right? You're not a man. You don't know what a man is like and how it feels to be a man. So, of course, you're going to get things wrong every now and then. And then vice versa. How the hell are men going to predict and knowing how women feel on a daily basis? We can't possibly do it. So look, I know I'm trying to help. I hope I'm doing good things for you. Most importantly, guys, is that look, even I can sometimes maybe get it wrong. Now, I never ever say, oh, I'm definitely right on this one. No. Now, there's a couple of facts about men that I will say that I'm right about, of course, because they're facts. But I'll always say, look, hey, maybe, guys, but the most important advice I want to get through to you out of all the 100 episodes and more is that the number one problem I'm seeing at the moment out of all and I mean, guys, thousands of videos I've posted on social media in the last few years. It is literally in the thousands. The number one problem I see at the moment is people jumping to conclusions about the other person. It's the fear of the unknown. What's that person thinking? Oh, and all of us, including me, guys, hey, Jesus, I'm human too, right? Sometimes I can catch myself thinking the worst about the other person, whether it's in relationships, dates, career, or friendship, sometimes, not all the time, of course, but if there's a incident, if there's something that is like a big deal to you, sometimes we can just naturally jump into the worst possible scenario. Oh, they don't give a shit. They don't care. They just laughing at me behind my back and yeah, they're having a great time, blah, blah, blah. Right? I'm seeing this day in and day out with so many single people, so many people in careers, so many people with their boyfriend, girlfriend, their husband, their wife. It's unbelievable. This problem crops up, ladies and gentlemen, every single day of the week. I either record my podcast or I do social media posts. This is the number one problem. And my solution is always this. Try and be extremely self-aware, right? The next time you can jump to a conclusion, which, by the way, guys, it happens to me as well. But what I've done is I've built in almost like this cheat code in my head, right? Now, what I say to myself, and by the way, Sometimes it's not perfect either, because I can still catch myself falling off into the fucking into the waste, right? Or falling off the cliff, should I say. What I do is, if I hear something like, oh yeah, she doesn't give a shit, then I sometimes go, well, hang on a second. Am I right about this? Now, what I do in these scenarios is I look at it and go, okay, maybe she doesn't give a shit, right? Let's assume the girl doesn't give a fuck. And I mean, like, go to the worst possible scenario and then flip it around and go to the complete other end. So, what do I mean? Okay, let's give you an example. You're texting a girl, she, all of a sudden, let's say those whole, one-word answer things, right? There's a lot of that going on at the moment, especially for guys, right? They match with a girl on Tinder, Bumble, wherever, and all of a sudden the girl's just giving one-word answers back. That drives us men insane, right? Now, our natural jumping to conclusion assumption is that the girl just doesn't give a fuck. She's looking for attention, and oh yeah, here we go. She's fucking sitting there now laughing, or she's just walking around with a big fucking smile on her face and doesn't give a fuck about me. Now, maybe the guy is right by saying that, and maybe a girl is right by saying that about a guy. You could be bang on the button. But a lot of the time, I wouldn't say most of the time, a lot of the time, there's a lot of underlying currents going on here, right? Let's say, like, for instance, actually, guys, I'll give you an example. I matched with this girl on Tinder probably about 3 months ago. And I liked her, right? Didn't hear back from her, nothing. I was like, oh, Jesus, what did I fucking say now? And I was inspecting it, all right, I have to say. And I was using my, dating brain on this now to sort of analyze it and evaluate it. I was like, all right, look, she's not interested. Now, my natural reaction was, oh, she's sitting there now laughing, doesn't give a fuck, twiddling her thumbs, polishing her nails as she's looking at her messages from me, smiling and laughing her ass off, right? For about 3 seconds, I had that reaction. I went, oh, Peter, easy. And you know what I said to myself? Maybe, just maybe, the girl is so unhappy with herself right now that maybe she jumped on board, she really wants to meet me. Now, by the way, guys, take a note that I could be very, very wrong about this, and I'm not fucking deluded, okay? Because the girl could be sitting there laughing her ass off. But maybe it's the other way too, right? And this isn't some, delusional trying to make myself feel better. No. And I'll tell you why, and you'll see the answer at the end. This girl I've seen her around Cork City where I live. I've seen her around loads of times, and then I saw her and matched with her, and I went, oh my God, that's that girl. Holy shit. And she's gorgeous, right? And so what happened? All of a sudden, didn't see her. I'm thinking, all right, well, maybe the social anxiety from coronavirus still hasn't worn off her. Maybe she's having family problems. Maybe another her ex-boyfriend's crept back into her life. Now, here's the thing. She definitely could have said to me, hey, listen, sorry, Peter, look, I'm not interested or whatever, right? You don't just leave it hanging there for the other person. And I would say that about anybody, guys, right? So, if you do get hung on and you don't hear anything back from them, don't do it to the next person, because you know what it feels like. You're like, Jesus, I thought we matched, and, you know what I mean? Like, just be upfront and honest about it. Actually, do you know what, Peter? I'm not interested. And that's okay. Now, fair enough, there might be one or two text messages back and forth, and there's maybe no need to say it, which is okay too. But you know what? Just be fucking honest. You know what I mean? Now, back to my point. I was thinking, fuck, God only knows what's going on. Now, guys, that was about 2 months ago when I was chatting to her. Bang, she ghosts me. So, again, my point is here, this, right? My natural reaction was, oh, she's sitting there laughing at me, dating so many guys, but yet she doesn't want to date me, doesn't give a fuck, right? That, 3 or 4 seconds of complete paranoia meltdown, okay? Then I tried to actually try and look at the logical explanation. Maybe there is more to the larger scale here. And about 3 or 4 days ago, I saw this girl in town walking past me. Now, I don't mind what body size women are, how big they are, how small they are. But I can tell you this. When I saw her around town, before I matched with her, so probably the last time I saw her around town was about 4 or 5 months ago, let's say. Okay? Then I see her, then I matched with her, and then for the last 2 months, heard nothing from her. And I saw her in town yesterday. And this girl has put on, and by the way, I don't give a damn what people do with their bodies. This girl has put on an extreme amount of weight. Okay? And it was surprising because she was very, very slim when I saw her, to black and white, east, west, north, south, left, right, day, night. It was an unbelievable difference. Now, doesn't bother me. It was just surprising to see. Now, ladies, if you're bitching and moaning at me here now, Peter, how can you say that? I'm not. First of all, I don't have any problem about people who are overweight or underweight or the normal weight. I don't give a shit. Okay? I don't give a fuck. I have no problem with that either. Because I'm sure you've walked past a guy that has been underweight, and all of a sudden, 3 months later, you see him and he's huge, right? And you're like, oh my God, has he put on some weight, right? So it's the same fucking thing here, okay? So anybody that's getting angry here, lighten up. But it was just surprising to see, whoa, oh my God. Now, was that the reason why she ghosted me? Maybe not. But maybe that had everything to do with being ghosted. She's not happy with herself. She's embarrassed about herself being so overweight. Because look, ladies, let's be honest. We all know that there's a lot of ladies who are very, very conscious of their weight, right? There's men who are very conscious of their weight too. So, you know, I put it this way. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong, but I do know one thing. The girl's not happy being that overweight. And you know why? Because I've seen that girl for years walking around Cork City. And she was always very slim, and she just doesn't look good. And there's a lot of girls that are overweight and they look gorgeous and they're very, very attractive and very sexy. But this girl, you can see it in her face even. You know? So my point of this whole story here, guys, is the number one problem I'm seeing on social media? Assumptions. Naturally assuming, oh, the person's laughing at me, or, you know, we get paranoid, which is very human, very understandable. Like I said, it's happened to me. I'm fucking sick of repeating it already, but it's happened to me as well. And it still will happen to me. My point is this. Don't necessarily think it's all about you, because first of all, it fucking isn't. And there could be several, fucking hundreds of reasons why the person didn't contact you back. Okay? Or why they're doing something. You just don't know what it is. Now, does that help you? Fuck no. It still sucks, right? They didn't contact you back. It's awful, and some of them are fucking rude, and it's very, very uncalled for. Have some respect for the other person, because guess what? You'd be crying like a bitch if you didn't get the respect. So if you get ghosted, don't ghost the next person. That's what I'd be saying to you. Okay? Don't ghost the next person. If you want respect, give respect. If you want love, give love. If you want people to be nice to you, be nice to them. All right, guys? Look, I feel like I'm doing a lecture here in a college seminar or something. But guys, you know, I'm sure you can see my logic here, right? And lighten the load. If you are taking it personally, maybe understand that maybe it's not about you. Because firstly, it's not about you. So maybe there's something going on in the background that you don't know. So I hope that helps. Now, before I finish the podcast, guys, one last thing. I know I'm trying to help you, all you guys out there, the dating world. As you know, many of you, I have the Facebook dating groups. Now, they're still going strong. There's people posting in them. There's a good amount of success stories coming out of them, which is fantastic to see. And guys, yes, it's free. And the whole point of these Facebook dating groups, guys, is the fact that there's no algorithm working against you. You don't have to pay money to boost your profile. You post in the group, guess what? Your post goes to the top of the page. So everybody's got a fair crack at the whip, which is fantastic. Now, I'll call out the dating groups in a minute. But What I would say to you is this, guys. There's a couple of things to remember. Firstly, it's a private group. So if you do go into them, your friends, family, who are not in the groups, they're not going to see what you post in there. All right? So it's only between you and all the other men and women who are looking to meet somebody. All right? Secondly, we're scrutinizing. We're keeping an eye on everybody that goes in. You need a profile photo of yourself. If you do not have a profile photo of yourself, you are not allowed into the group. Simple as that. Too many scammers, too many people trying to fuck around, okay? Even on their cheating on their husbands or wives or boyfriends or girlfriends or whatever. I'm not saying everybody's doing that, but it does happen. So if we think there's something wrong, suspicious, we'll either kick you out of the group or you won't be allowed in the group in the first place. Thirdly, if anybody bullies anybody or tries to harass anybody, you'll be kicked out. And if you do get harassed, guys, just send an email to us with the screenshots. At least we've got proof because, look, as you know, we can't just take your word for it and kick them out of the group. So send us screenshots and we'll be kicking them out instantly because we all want you guys to have a really good, fair crack at the whip, like I said. Now, when you go into the groups, I would suggest that you create a video intro of yourself. There's too many people sitting on the sidelines at the moment as we speak, even in the groups, that are not doing anything about anything. They're just sitting on the sidelines. They're not posting anything about themselves. They're not even posting a photo saying, hi, my name is Peter. Hi, my name is Susan. They're not even doing anything to show people who they are. And remember, guys, you go to the top of the profile. So people will see you. So therefore increases your chances. And I would say you do a video intro. And why? Simply because people get a more of an idea of who you are with a video intro. All right, now, what was I going to say? Okay, so the dating groups are called, there's 5 of them. Old school dating, age 20 to 28. Old school dating, age 28 to 35. Old school dating, age 35 to 45. Old school dating, age 45 to 55. And old school dating, age 55 plus. Now, these are Facebook groups. They're not pages. So look for those, and you'll have to maybe wait up to 24 hours to be approved or denied entry into the groups. You can go into any groups you choose, no problem. So in other words, it's not, you don't have to be in the exact age group, because there is some younger ladies that like the older man, or they like the younger man, or there's some older men that like the younger woman, or the older woman. Okay, so, and bottom line, guys, if you don't like somebody that's messaging you, either way you can report them, or you can do the easier option, just don't answer them, or just tell them that you're not interested. Okay, now I would suggest you do answer them and say, look, I'm sorry, I'm not interested, because that's being fair. All right, but there's people that are doing that, and look, if that's the way you want to do it, fine. Just be nice to people in there and show people some respect. So guys, in closing, I want to thank you so much for everybody that's listened to my podcast up to now. 100 episodes. This is the 100th. I can't believe it. I'm going to be coming back, obviously. And we're going to be talking a lot about more dating, of course. We're going to be talking about adoption as well in more detail. We haven't done much adoption yet, but we will get into that more and more. And we're going to be also talking about Formula 1. And of course, you've maybe have heard some of my episodes. I'll give you the raw fucking truth on racing, guys. There's no producer here trying to manipulate and bully and control what I say on a podcast. There's no editor editing down my clips, right? Trying to control everything. Like some of these Formula 1 TV presenters, they drive me nuts because they're incredibly unfair. They're biased. Not all of them, but a lot of them are very, very biased and full of shit. Absolutely full of shit. Whereas, like the dating, I'll give you the brutal honesty of what racing is really like. Now, there's a dark side and there's a bright side, a good side to racing. And I hope you do love it. And by the way, in closing, watch Drive to Survive, Formula 1 on Netflix. Fantastic. So guys, I love you all. Thank you all. I'm blowing you a kiss here. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see. And I can't believe I've got to 100. I hope I'm getting better, because I always believe we can all get better. I don't even know if I suck or not, or if I'm good. But either way, I'm always going to try and improve to be better. And I love you all for listening, watching my social media, watching me on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Love you all, guys. Thanks very much for listening. This is my 100th.